What's up, everyone? Drew, aka Catching Rockets here. I hope y'all are having a good weekend. I am tired as fuck. Um, Having a good day. Just tired. I don't know what's wrong with me. Um, I slept pretty good last night. Woke up at like 4 o'clock in the morning, hungry. Got up 8, went back to bed, and slept till 11, which never happens. Um, so maybe I overslept. I don't know. But yeah, I don't even want to talk to you people right now. Um, I wanted to start today with something a little different. Let's see. Um, if my computer decides that it wants to work, that would be amazing. All right, I'll do it this way if you want to be difficult. All right. So when I show this, I don't know what the hell my issue is. Um, the last few months of trading have been rough for me. I normally have anywhere around like a 80-70% win rate, sometimes 60, but good enough, right? And then using one risk, two reward minimum on every trade. Like I'm profitable, I make good money. But for the last 2 months, well, last month wasn't terrible, but it's definitely better than this month. Like if we go to June, you can see for the month of June, I was up like basically $1,100. A lot of it was on one trade. And then, like I have some decent trades in here, but losses, whatever. Yeah. If we go to this month, I'm actually negative 180. And this is frustrating to me here, and I'll explain why. But haven't been trading, whatever, due to life stuff. I've talked to you guys about that already. But like, well, so these blue days means that I took a trade like on Sunday and closed it Monday. Took a trade Wednesday, closed it Thursday. This trade frustrated the hell out of me, and I'll kind of explain why. But the thing is, I'm never afraid to show my stats. This frustrates me because there's no really good way to make it accurate. I always talk about, risking a dollar to make two, and this should reflect risking a dollar to make two. But the thing is it just takes an average of what you've lost and what you've made, and then says like, this is your risk to reward. Where like, one trade, based on the setup, like I might be risking whatever, like $200. This is my entry to make 600, right? And then the next trade, I'm only risking 100 to make 4. But so if I take this loss, it makes the ratio of that trade where I'm only risking 100 not look as good, right? Hopefully that makes sense, because I don't really know how else to explain it. But so that messes with the risk to reward ratio. But every single trade I take, I'm making at least $2 to risk $1. My win rate has sucked. Day win rate's a little bit better, but my overall win rate 46.4. But what's important that I really want to show is even doing crappy, even being negative for the entire month, even with not making a ton last month, I'm still in profit. I haven't blown my account, right? And that should be, your goal as a trader is, even when you're going through like a downswing, and this is something that I want to also bring up, is you can take 18 losses in a row mathematically. It's mathematically possible to take 18 losses in a row, and 18 losses should not blow your account. Okay. It's going to suck emotionally, psychologically, all of that. It's going to suck, but you shouldn't be blowing your account. So that's really like the main point for me showing my last 2 months of trading is that sometimes we're going to go through those downswings. Sometimes we're going to go through times where it seems like just nothing is clicking. And you just got to roll with the punches and keep trading and not blow your account, not FOMO, not start over trading, not start over positioning, oversizing, whatever else. You trade your setups, and when you take the losses, you just take it on the chin, and then you go on and look for the next trade. This was frustrating for me on Friday. We broke back inside of our value area, had 3 candles closed below, retested, and I entered short here. I had actually like just got home, and I kind of ran in the door, and I want to say I was targeting 20. And then my stop loss was up here somewhere. I don't remember exactly where. It's probably something like this, right? And obviously I'm playing the 80% rule to the downside. I was red for a hot minute. I thought they were going to stop me out. They didn't. And then somewhere in here I went to bed because I had worked the night before. Yeah, Splunridge Runner, it is demoralizing, but you just have to remember that it is mathematically possible. And you just, I mean, as a trader, that's something you have to be okay with. It's also, it goes both directions, right? It's mathematically possible to be correct 18 times in a row. So, you know, you roll with the punches. Anyway, so on this one, I worked the night before. I had to sleep, and I was pretty confident they were going to hit my take profit level, right? I woke up, and my position had been closed for me because you can't swing trade futures. And then if you saw on my my little P&L thing, I only made $55 on that trade. And I mean, it is what it is. Like, I can't go backwards and change it, but to see that I was up like I think 22 points at one point. Yeah, 22 points. And then to get, you know, closed out for almost no profit at all. And to be like 3 points from my take profit, right? I wasn't targeting the previous day value area low. I forget why, but there was a reason. And, you know, I thought like whenever I trade, I always have like a, you know, like a range around my level. And being that I was going to be asleep and I didn't want, you know, like for it to bounce right before my take profit and then go, I was planning on closing a little bit early. But to wake up and see that I missed my setup by like 3 points was a little demoralizing, like Splunridge Runner said. I mean, it is what it is. I'm not like super upset about it or anything. Just disappointed, you know, like it's frustrating to wait for a good setup, take it, and then have it come so close to your profit target and reverse on you. And then the wild thing is if we look at SPY, it actually completed the 80% rule and just about bounced right where we completed the 80% rule. So with that said, on futures, on ES, we actually got the better setup where we closed below, retested. They probably might have stopped out some people. They came really close to stopping me out. And then they made the move down, but we never made it to the previous day value area low, whereas on SPY we did, right? So maybe if we were using regular trading hours, then they still wouldn't have hit us on ES. So I guess there's just no way to win here, right? Or maybe they would have come in that 1 point range where you'd want to close. So I guess that is the win. So anyway, frustrating. For SPY, for people that follow me, you can see my little circle envelops the previous day VPOC. So when we broke back inside, had candles close below, retested. Hopefully you guys caught this little move from the previous day VPOC down to the previous day value area low. Or also I say on SPY to have like a 25-cent range around your levels, which would put you, I don't even know the math. I'm trying to math here. 38. I guess the 25 cents still wouldn't envelop this area, but I had told you guys Thursday to watch previous day value area low to previous day value area. I mean, POC to value area high for an entry short, right, for puts. So anyway, it did exactly what we were looking for. Hopefully you guys got it, and we literally bounced right there. So if you closed right at the previous day value area low, it would have happened pretty quick. I don't remember the move. You would have got in on this candle, so it's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. Or no, sorry, 40 minutes in and out. All right. Other than that, I don't see a single other setup for Friday. Start a racing crapola. Oh, and for people that are here for options setups, I don't have any. I looked at my normal list of charts and didn't see anything that popped out at me. So, unfortunately, nothing there. Theresa, I still get my sleep. Just a different time. Alrighty, let's hop into this. Wow, this is pretty ugly. Also, I'm pretty surprised. Futures have opened pretty flat. There's really not much going on there. D-shaped profile. We are going to have... pour high at the top. And then a pour low at the bottom. Just so you guys know, me being live right now is love, because I do not want to be here. I don't know what's wrong with me. Like, normally I'm always happy to hang out with you guys and talk and go over stuff, but today I am not feeling it. I actually just really want to go hang out with my family. Nothing personal, just not in the mood today. Let's do our weekly levels really quick. Do we have any people in the chat that are into punk rock? Because, let me see. Trying to find a good example of what I'm referring to. So, like, oh, that's weird. I grew up like super into punk. Um, my second son was really into punk, and then my youngest son is really into punk, and so he's actually like starting a punk band right now. They just need a drummer. He's got bassist, two guitarists. He's singing, and he's looking for a drummer. But so, with all of that said, like when I was younger, I had like a leather jacket with like spikes and studs on it and painted stuff on it, and I would do what's it called? I don't know, just whatever, just different stuff all over it, patches, whatever. And so something like this, basically. Um, and then me and my second son made one for him, a leather jacket as well. And right now, my youngest son is downstairs, like making his own vest. So he's putting on like spikes right now or studs, whatever. So pretty cool. I guess pretty cool if it's something that you're into. Something that I love. So to see him doing it is cool. Back to 30 minutes here. Let's look at news really quick. Futures are pretty flat. I think I already said that, but if I didn't, they are flat. Let's look at news for tomorrow. Nothing, basically. After the market closes, monetary policy in Australia. Not really going to give us any kind of a move. Don't be too surprised if we chop sideways tomorrow. It looks like, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, there's essentially no news. And then Thursday is packed with PMI, Europe, England. The U.S. has unemployment claims, flash manufacturing PMI for U.S. So they might hold off until Thursday to give us like a pretty good move, but we'll have to see. We'll have to play it by ear and play what they give us. Let's look at our big picture here. So they peaked above. They might be faking retail out here. I would not be surprised. Wild scenes. Is that the... Wow. So we are actually above a monthly closed cloud right now, which should not be happening. Are we above it? I can't really... Yeah, we are. So that's wild. Would not be terribly, terribly, terribly surprised to see something like this. Okay. But we're in sketchy territory, right? This is when we're at all-time highs like this, it's always good to look at the fear and greed index. Because the more we're in extreme greed, the more likely it is that market makers fake us out, and we're still in extreme greed. So things could get ugly here. I wouldn't be surprised, though, to see the breakout and then deuces. But we'll have to see what happens. This is just crazy. Like seeing the daily cloud, like having such an aggressive move upwards, or even this move down. They don't normally move quite that steep. So this is wild times that we're in. This would be more normal, right? This is insanity. Especially when we're looking at daily candles, right? Um, all right. Futures were up a little bit, but really, we closed here, right? Sold off at the open, bounced, and they're still going. Um, Let me load up my other software. We're gonna look at the. Did I watch MASH? I mean, who didn't? Like, I don't know. When I grew up, what I don't even remember. There was like 6 TV channels, and 2 of them were news. Like, you were kind of limited on what you could watch. And I mean, yeah, I watched all that stuff. MASH, whatever, Silver Spoons. Um, God, I'm trying to think of the names of the shows. Roseanne, Fresh Prince of Bel Air. I don't know. Like, yeah, absolutely watched all that stuff. All right, let's see. All right. I should say too. Last night, my son did something pretty cool. There's a little, I don't know, like music store. They'll sell like a few used instruments here and there. A lot of like punk clothing, stuff like that. I don't know. Um, they also have like house decoration type stuff. But most of it is like, rock themed or punk or whatever. And I think like every 3 months they do like an open mic where they'll set up, they'll have like a soundboard you can plug into. They've got a mic, amps, and then speakers and a microphone, whatever. And so my son went there last night, and there's a song he's been learning, and I think he's only practiced it like twice, and got up in front of the crowd and played it on guitar and sang it at the same time. And he kind of told everybody, he was like, this is going to be only the third time I've ever played this song, so it's going to be not perfect, but it'll be good enough. And he actually killed it. It was cool. It was fun. I'm trying to figure out like where to draw this on Spy. I guess a little bit below, or maybe let me try 5 minute candles and see if there's a candle that like really encompasses the top of the 1250 candle. Top of the 1220 candle. All right, so if we look at this chart, we have a huge amount of volume right through here. But what we need to see now is full body candles to either open above or below this level and then retest it, and we want to get in. So basically on SPY, we want, it doesn't really matter, but like price could open up here, come back to here, and we would grab calls. Okay. I think it's a buy side. It could be a sell side. The key is we want to see those full body candles above or below. If they're below, then this would be a sell side. If they're above, it would be a buy side. As of right now, it looks like, we're having those candles above. So I'm assuming this is a buy side imbalance, right? Yeah, it is at this point. Now we're just waiting for the retest to go. So hopefully they give us during regular market hours tomorrow. One last thing I want to look at, which is imbalances. And I think imbalances might give us an area to grab puts at the top, which would be good. Because as of right now, I don't have a bunch of orders up here that are really screaming out to me. Yeah, so right here. Um, 53 to 54. So it was actually created over here. All right. I'm going to draw a line just to show you guys this, but right here. So resistance, then broken through, resistance again, come back to here. I'm looking for it to become support. Okay. So if we come down here by some chance, we're going to want to see them clean up this poor low, which gives me that little level that I just showed you guys where I'm looking to be in calls if we come down into here. Okay. So watch for calls here. This is highly unlikely, but if by some chance they give us this, actually I probably want to do it this way. Watch for calls, specifically at the single print mid. Oh, and then this is kind of wild. I have a batch of what's it called? I have a batch of beef jerky I'm making right now. It's like espresso and brown sugar. I'm excited to taste it, and hopefully the espresso wakes me up. Oh, and I just realized I suck as a husband. My wife told me roughly an hour ago that she's in the mood for another cup of coffee, and I meant to make it for her, and I completely forgot. So I'm a terrible husband. May I rot in hell. Okay. So this is really just what I'm interested in for tomorrow. And it depends on how they give it to us, right? If we come here, I'll be in calls to here. I'll close. Depending on what time of day it is, I'll reverse to puts. If it's late in the afternoon, like I might try to play it down to the previous week value high. If it's early in the morning, I'm going to try to play it all the way back down to the buy side high volume node, right? If they give me this first, I will grab puts. I'll play it down to here. I'll switch to calls. Okay. But I also would not be surprised to just see like a fairly choppy day. But we'll have to see what happens tomorrow. I want to make sure we don't have SIGs that we can draw. We do. I didn't think we did, but here we are. What am I doing? Okay. There we go. SIGs are going to change all of nothing for me because they're going to line up with my levels anyway, for the most part. So, but I'm drawing them just for people that want them. Never really care much about the first SIG. Interested in reactions at second and third, which are going to be lining up with levels where we're interested in trades anyway for the most part. Oh, look at that. 99, our third SIG is right on the single print mid where we want to get in long or get in calls. And the top is right where we want to close. Imagine that. Sexy, sexy, sexy. Alrighty. If you guys have questions, now would be the time to ask. If not, forever hold your peace. I'm going to go post this in Keenan's. I don't have the energy to do ES right now, but maybe I'll look at it later and I'll just post the levels in Keenan's. Also, I will be trading live in the morning. I've already posted the information, so if you're a member of the doctorate level tier on Keenan's, you can go there and join. If you're not a member of the doctorate tier on Keenan's, then I guess you have to wait till I do it free, which I'll probably do this week. I just don't know when. Okay. Alrighty. Let me see if there's any questions before I end this. Close this. Thoughts of joining the military? Cry Kids, I guess that's how you pronounce your name. How old are you? Um, so when I talk about my son doing music, he's actually not interested in being a professional musician. Um, Something that we've talked about extensively. He's in two bands right now. Um, right now, he just does cover songs. Eventually, I'm sure he'll start writing music. But for now, it's just for fun. Um, and yeah, he's not interested in being a professional musician. He actually wants to be an astrophysicist. He loves science. He loves space. And that's really what his passion is. And even if you ask him, like, hey, um, tomorrow you could be a professional musician, making hundreds of million a year, or you could be an astrophysicist making 200,000 a year. He would choose astrophysicist because that's what he's passionate about. Um, um, well, I was waiting for the answer on how old Cry Kids are, but basically, um, if I'm being completely honest about the military, I mean, I'm always like honest, but um, for me, joining the military was probably, I did join the military. I'm a disabled vet. Joining the military was probably one of the best things I did in my life. I'm disabled at 30. I think you're pretty limited. Like you have 4 more years to make a decision. They don't accept people over 34. It might be 36, but it's right around there. Um, and if you haven't figured out your life by 30, then yes, join the military 100% because you got to do something, pull your head out of your ass. And I'm not saying that in any insulting way, but if you're 30 years old and you don't already have a career or a direction, and you're working like minimum wage jobs or, just over minimum wage jobs, and you still haven't decided what you want to do for the rest of your life, yeah, go join the service. A few things, though, I would say is never join, like when you go to a recruiter, they're always going to try to get you to sign up like open general, which just basically means you're going in, you don't have a job. They're going to assign you a job. Thank you for that. They're going to put you wherever they need you. If you're interested in joining the service, you want to figure out what career you want to do in the military, right? And you want to go to a recruiter and say, this is what I'm interested in. This is the job I want. And then when you make sure before you sign anything that the paperwork has the job on it that you want, and otherwise you don't sign the paperwork, right? Because if you go in open general, like you could literally be a janitor or, just whatever. Like you could be folding parachutes for the next 4 years. Like there's a lot of monotonous, boring jobs in the service that you probably don't want to be doing. Um, and so if you're an intelligent person, the more intelligent people will go like Air Force or Navy. There's some really good careers, like any of the computer jobs, like dealing with, what's it called? The top secret stuff, like decrypting messages that we're getting from other countries and stuff like that. I don't know. There's just a ton of jobs. I was a firefighter in the service. And that's a good way to get your foot in the door as a firefighter, if it's something that you're interested in as a career. But again, I went in and had a career picked out before I joined, and didn't sign any paperwork before that. So make sure you have your career. And the one thing that I would say is when I joined the service, I was really young. I don't remember. I think I was like 19. And, some people might look at 19 and be like, hey, you're an adult. I don't know if this is just me, but me looking back, I was so immature. I thought I knew everything. Definitely did not know anything. Thought that I had a good head on my shoulders. I mean, I guess I do, but I basically, like, I wish I had the knowledge then that I have today. And probably when I'm older, whatever, 70, 80, I'll probably wish I had the knowledge today that I do then, right? But at least looking backwards now to when I was 19, I didn't know my head from my ass, right? And when I joined the service, I don't know, I got kind of scared, right? Because this is going to sound weird, but I started seeing people getting busted for stupid crap. Like, I mean, some of it is like, you kind of ask for it. Like, one guy got busted for selling weed when he was in the service. And I actually had to escort him to the brig. And, which is weird. Like, as a fireman, I don't know why I'm escorting criminals to the brig, but I did. And, I talked to him a little bit, and I felt so bad for him because he's going to, whatever, the military determines, he's going to serve time in jail, which in the military, it's not bad. Like, you're not, it's not like being in prison in the civilian sector where you're going to be with like a bunch of murderers and rapists and stuff. But nothing great there, right? Going on in jail in the service. And then when you finally get out of that, you're going to get discharged with a dishonorable discharge. And that follows you for the rest of your life. And like, some career paths don't really care. Like, if you're going to go do construction, they could kind of give a crap if you have, like a criminal record or if you have a dishonorable discharge. But a lot of career paths absolutely do care, if you have a dishonorable discharge. And, like, so in that guy's case, he kind of asked for it, right? Selling drugs in the military, like, you're pretty stupid. But I saw other people get hemmed up for like kind of stupid reasons where they got dishonorable discharges. And at my young age, even, whatever, 19, 20, 21, I'm like, shit, these people are going to get out of the service. They're going to have a dishonorable discharge. They're going to have to put that on every single job application. It's going to follow them for the rest of their life. And it scared the crap out of me. Like, I don't want to get a dishonorable discharge and then have to put dishonorable discharge on every job application for the rest of my life. That's insane. And so for me, again, looking back, to put so much weight on, and again, I don't want to speak for everybody. I'll speak for myself, but for what I would consider like immature young adults that are just barely like trying to figure out their life, and you're going to slap them with a dishonorable discharge that's going to follow them for the rest of their life, and it's going to affect their career for the rest of their life, right? So for me, that's really scary about being in the service. I think something like that is way too harsh, where at such a young, immature age, you could have something that could literally affect you for the rest of your life, as far as careers and jobs and all that. So that kind of scared the crap out of me. But other than that, there's nothing bad I could say about the service, right? Like, the house I'm currently living in right now, I got to use my VA loan. I've used it twice now. The first house I purchased, I used my VA loan. And a lot of people don't know this, but like, as a veteran, you can buy a house with 5% down, right? With a VA loan. If you're a disabled vet like myself, it's 0% down. You just pay your closing costs. But either way, like, it's a really affordable way to get into a house, for like a first time home buyer. The house I live in now, again, I purchased with my VA loan, and with this loan, like you also get a slightly better interest rate on the house. So like I'm locked in 30 years at 2.15% interest on this house. And like, that's insane. I literally have no reason to ever pay off my mortgage. I would be better off taking any extra money and investing it in the market. Because generally, even if I do bad, I'll probably get at least an 8 to 10% return on any money that I'm investing year over year. So that's going to crush the 2% interest I'm paying on my house mortgage, right? And then I also have the tax write-off. Did I try to change anything that were done in the military? No. I want to say, like, I don't have a big enough voice to do that, but I mean, all of us as individuals probably do. But it's what you're passionate about, right? And I'm not passionate about trying to change how things are done in the service. They probably should change, the whole honorable and dishonorable discharge thing to where it's not affecting young kids for their whole life. Because that's really what it is. 18-year-olds, we're still like young kids, at least in my opinion. Yeah, so that's my thoughts on the military. And then being a disabled vet right now, I'm 50% service connected. So I get a check every month from the government. I can use VA health benefits, dental, medical, all of that. Yeah, no, my punk background did not play into my military service at all. I know, like, traditionally punk rock is like what? Anti-establishment, anti-government, going against the grain, being yourself, being different, whatever. Also, punk is also about being like kind of all-inclusive and accepting people for who they are, right? I mean, I definitely have like strong political views and whatever else, but I'm not the kind of person that runs around like spouting off either religious or political views. I just choose to keep that stuff to myself. I don't think there's anything good to come out of talking about it. People are either going to completely agree with you or completely disagree with you, and it's a good way to ruin friendships and create problems at work. Like, no, I didn't try to change anything when I was in the service. I did my time. I kept my head down, stayed out of trouble, did what I needed to do, and moved on when I was done serving my time. So that's that. Anyway, weird tangent. I'm going to go hang out with my family for the rest of the day. Like I said, for the person that is asking for for people, or for the person that always asks for the ES chart, like I said, I'll try to chart it up later and post it. But if not, I'm going to be live, and you guys can see my chart then. So I'll be trading live in the morning. I already posted the information on Keenan's for anybody that's interested. So with that said, much love, much respect to everybody. Peace out, and we'll see you in the morning. Bye.